Hello friends, let's see if we got this going. Turn the volume way down, see what we got here. Oh yeah. Turn the volume up for a second, make sure we got some sound. Do one other little thing. Make sure we got it turned up. Let's see. Good morning. Can you hear me? I always like the Roadhog. You know, she's like, "Can you hear me now?" Let's see. Pretty close to the old. Yeah. Let's see. Yes, we can hear you. One of the things, last time we had kind of an issue with this, and apparently, I don't know if it has something to do with Safari or something, but sometimes people have to, close out Safari and open it up again for some reason. So, but yes, so we got all sorts of people coming on the line. We got 36 people watching. Let's see, we got Bad Joke Gaming, we've got Fuzz, we've got Patrick Kish. Let's see, we got Jam Up, Dale from Patreon. Thank you, Dale. We've got Corey, we've got Jeff Benner, we've got Telecaster Bear. It's 8:47 Tucson time. Patrick Niedermeyer, morning, sunshine. Yes, we can hear you. Tom Rutledge says, John Griffith says, this is going to be interesting. I hear the audio, says Fuzz. What happened to your lav mic? Didn't you have that wireless mic or something? Yeah, I did, and last time we had some real issues with the sound not being loud enough, so I'm trying it this way. However, I have my wireless mic if I need it. So I'm gonna raise this up just a touch and get a Telecaster out. See if this thing works. Got my 5-watt World blue chip pick. I have a bunch of these that have Ask Zach on them, but this is one. This is what got me into blue chip picks. It was 5-watt World. Keith sent me this years ago, and I ended up liking the gauge and shape and everything so much because most of these are really, really thick, and this is about the thinnest pick that that blue chip does, which is the 35, and it's basically like a Fender Heavy, and that's basically the lightest pick that they make. Let's see. All right. Yeah, this I have the TPR 35. So yeah, I like this pick a lot. But I have kind of a pick problem. So I like medium heavies, and I like little jazz picks, and then I like these. And it all depends on what kind of shape my hands and my brain are in, and so it kind of changes. So yeah, let's see what else we have here. Good morning to Rob French. Michael Davis says, "Hey Zach, huge fan of the blue chip RD." Okay, yeah, yeah, those are good picks. Centro to veterans of the La Matanza War says, "Hey Zach, I did the tone for bridge only in my '63 custom telly, and it's great. Thanks." Well, you're welcome. I love that mod. It's a good one. Let's see. Audio too low. So I don't know what's going on, and I've got an iPhone 16, and apparently, if some people don't have a problem, and some people have to like close Safari and then open it back up. So apparently, there's some issue with Safari or something. I don't know, but let's see. Your guitar volume is about 3 times your voice. Well, maybe I have the amp up too loud. So hopefully you can hear me. Good morning. I always miss these live streams. Glad to be part of it. Well, I'm glad you're here too, Milton. So let's see. Trying to think about what's going on today. It's a beautiful day here in Franklin, Tennessee, just south of Nashville, and the sun is out. And of course, last week and before that, we've had all this, sub-freezing weather, and it's been really nice to have some better weather because even when it's been 10 degrees or 25 degrees or whatever, I've been walking the dog, and so it was nice to walk the dog today, and it was 40. So I still had my jacket on, but I wasn't double layered up, had 2 pairs of pants on and all that kind of jazz. So it's a good day, and yeah, we're just kind of having fun. This is really interesting. So yeah, so still getting some comments about super low volume. So I'm not sure what the deal is because I think I've turned up the phone as loud as it will go, and so I don't. And I've tried using the lapel mic, and that didn't work better either. So this is interesting. I don't know if I need to change the setting because I looked at it and it's spatial audio. Maybe it needs to just be stereo or something. So, anywho, uh, greetings from Mr. Vague. Thank you, Mr. Vague. Let's see. Big fan of the old PV solid state combos. I'm actually getting another one today. So I sold the special 130 because it was too heavy, and I'm getting the Studio Pro 40, which still has a 12-inch speaker, but it's just 40 watts instead of 130, and it's quite a bit lighter. It's about the size of a Princeton. So I'm getting one of those from a friend of mine, meeting him at Martin's Barbecue at one of the locations in Nashville, and I'm purchasing a PV Studio Pro 40, and so excited about that. Let's see. Greetings from Oxshott in Surrey, England. Surrey, England. I always think about Eric Clapton because of course, have read a lot of Clapton, books and such, and it always talks about him being from Surrey. So, looking for a good country twang telly bridge pickup. Any thoughts? Yeah, as far as like, if you want kind of the fatter compressed thing, get the Seymour Duncan Antiquity Bridge. If you want more twang, I'd go with the Fender 64, and those are kind of in your $100 range. If you want to go higher than that, then you could get a Ron Ellis 52, 52T. That's a fantastic pickup, and he has the 60T, which those are quite a bit more expensive, but those are fantastic pickups. Yeah, so that's kind of a good little spread there. Patrick says he's headed to Tulsa. Uh, I'm gonna hit Tulsa. I'm not playing in Tulsa until late March, Patrick. There are a number of good shops. There's Guitar House of Tulsa, which is one of the most amazing vintage shops in the U.S., and you really have to go to Guitar House. Um, then there's also Tulsa Guitar, which is a great shop also, and those shops aren't real far from each other. So yeah, they're kind of in central, yeah, they're kind of in central Tulsa, and there's also a lot of good restaurants. There's a good um, oh, what is that? Yeah, Vietnamese, like pho or pho, however you want to say it. Yeah. All right, audio is fine. Great. Good morning from Mississippi, from Perilous Temple. I love that name. Yeah. Any knowledge on the Seymour Duncan hot chicken pickups? Yeah, they're really nice. They're really a great set, and I got to check them out before they were released. They had I got to try out a set. I thought they're really nice. I guess I need another strat to put those in. So let's see. It's okay. I just put more volume here. Keep going. All right. Corey says the DiMarzio Twang King is super cheap and sounds killer for twangy stuff. Bobby Culpepper, SRV3 Fender, says I've been playing the Track 5 Club in Tulsa a lot lately. Nice. Well, yeah, I love playing Track 5 and so I'll be playing there in late March. So I'll kind of get the word out as it gets closer. But yeah, I'll be in Tulsa late March to play with Paul Bogart, and really looking forward to that. So, oh, Anthony Pate says, good morning from Burnsville, North Carolina. What do you think of Dr. Amps? Oh, Dr. Z Amps. Yeah, I really like, I love the Carmanguia, which is an amp that he's made since the early 90s. Also, I love the Z-Rec. If you're playing big stages, the Z-Rec's a great amp. If you're not playing big stages, I'd get the Z-Rec Junior. And you know, those are my favorite, Dr. Z amps, and I think they're fantastic. And yeah, I might even at some point I might end up with another Dr. Z amp. I've been more of a, I've been using this Headstrong amp for the last 2 years, but I've kind of been having the itch for an EL84 amp just to have around. So let's see. We've got Lamar Brewster says, I have a rosewood fretboard that feels a bit rough. Yeah, I would put some kind of oil on it. There's all sorts of fretboard conditioners, and I would do that. Sometimes you can get into like using steel wool or something on the fretboard. You really want to be really careful doing that. And so I would try just some oil first and then see from there. Also, your guitar could be really dried out because it's the winter time. You probably have the heat running. And so I would also try, humidifying the room that your guitar is in and then oiling the fretboard also. And I think you would probably be happier with your rosewood fretboard. Let's see, jam up, and then we've got a good morning from Opp, Alabama, from Andy Cox. I've been watching Seth Lee Jones from Tulsa. He is a monster player. Well, you're gonna have to, I'll have to find out if he's playing nearby while I'm up there. Oh, we've got Torbjorn Gording Backsather. I'm probably butchering your name, but he says, any experience with Schecter Tellys from the 80s? Yeah, Schecter Tellys from the 80s are really cool. They sold parts, and there were certain shops that were authorized, both they could sell the parts and they could put them together as guitars. And then later on, they sold full-fledged guitars that I think came out of Tulsa. I mean, not Tulsa, Dallas, Texas. And yeah, and I think James Pennebaker worked for them back then. Monte Presso for rosewood board conditions and darkens. Nice. So there you have a recommendation for Monte Presso. It sounds almost like an espresso. I think your amp just needs to turn down, but it sounds great and twangy. All right, well, I'm going to turn the amp down a little bit. Let's see. Let's see. Eric Clapton comes from Ripley in Surrey, which is 10 minutes from Oxshott. Nice. Michael Davis says, I built a Telegib. Ever try one like that? I haven't. I have never tried a Gibson scale Tele, and I've always been very curious about them. So I need to find one of those at some point. It's Corey saying Mark Knopfler played some of his most iconic stuff on Schecter Teles. He sure did, and those were parts that were made, and then they were sent to Rudy's, and the guys at Rudy's, put those together. And then John Sewer put together a lot of the Schecter guitars that Mark Knopfler has. So they were Schecter parts that John Sewer put together before they started Pensachure, and then Sewer, and then before John went off on his own. Oh, in your opinion, what is the best vintage Fender Tele for the money? I would say a refin maple cap neck Tele. So from like 66 to 68, one where the body finish, has been redone or it's been stripped, because those can be found for about $5 to $6 grand, which is still a lot of money. But that's kind of the last ditch best. They're not bargains, but it's at least somewhat affordable. So there's a really great 69 Tele. It's not a maple cap, but it has a beautiful worn neck. So put 1969 Tele on a search on Reverb, and it's being sold by Chicago Music Exchange. It's like $5,500. The body's been refinned. It looks so cool, and I've been so tempted to buy it, but if I get another Telecaster, my wife is literally going to slit my throat. So I probably need to sell a Tele or something, but someone needs to buy that guitar right now. So somebody go on Reverb and to get that 1969 Tele. It has a beautiful, heavily worn neck. So, all right. Let's see. Your guitar is miles louder than your vocal. Interesting. And the Paisley Tele, the road worn Paisley Tele and the Esquire, that's kind of your best buy as far as a really great and under $2,000 guitar. Brian Setzer playing a Schecter. Oh, that's cool. I had $1 for every time I've been told to turn my amp down. Yeah, I'm getting told to turn my amp down on my live stream, so this is the way it works, and I'm good with it though. So here we have our friend in Memphis saying, guys, he's using his phone and doesn't have independent control for voice guitar levels. Amps are louder than speech. Enjoy it for what it is. Yeah, thank you, Lyle. Yeah, we're low tech here. We just throw up the phone and do a little quick live stream on a Wednesday morning, because I didn't do an Ask Zach episode this week. Next week there will be an episode all about Fender broadcasters. So I actually was able to get my hands on a real December 1950 broadcaster and did an episode with that. And so next Tuesday you'll see the broadcaster story. So that'll be fun to get that out there. I see where PV released a new steel amp called the Nashville Session. Huh. Yeah, and of course Red Volkart. Yeah, he plays he has a couple of LTD PV amps that he makes them sound amazing, and they're great amps. Gary says, what is your preferred fret size, and would you have stainless steel frets? I've never done stainless steel frets. I don't have anything against them. I just haven't done it before. I tend to like 6105s, or I like medium jumbo frets, or I like the frets that Dan Strain, Danocaster, uses on his guitars, which are like 9.5 by 47, I believe. And you could just Google, Danocaster frets. And so any of those, I like it bigger than vintage, but I don't like railroad ties. I don't like, gigantic speed bumps. So, but I definitely like bigger than vintage. So I think this guitar has 6105s on it. This is, this is Music Craft parts. At least the neck is Music Craft, and the body, I'm not sure what it is. But yeah, and that's another, great option is you can always, build your own thing. Let's see. I think the most impressive piece of vintage gear that you have is the Bose Wave Station under your left arm. Yeah, so let's see, can we see it back here? Yeah, I have an old Bose wave station that I love, and that's what I have my record player connected to, and it's a lot of fun to use, and it sounds great. Please, will you interview Paul Martin from Marty Stewart? Well, I'd love to interview Paul, and I'd love to interview Marty. I've kind of talked about it some. I need to keep working on it. Austin says, what resources would you recommend to learn the country bluegrass standards? G runs, plucking licks, pedal steel, bends, etc. Um, golly, I would listen to old Buck Owens and Merle Haggard records from the '60s, and I would just try to get all that stuff in your head. Like listen to Working Man Blues over and over again, and and try to pick out, just the even like the opening riff. And then the solo. That kind of thing. Just pick out stuff. There's lots of learning resources online. Guthrie Trapp has some good stuff. True Fire. Um, but I think the best thing you can do is learn songs. I would really work on learning songs. So let's see. I think I missed a couple comments here. Speak up. Your sound is way too loud. Can barely hear you. Too low. From Jaw 70 Row. Nigel says, I'm pleased with myself. I've learned to play rhythm on 9 out of 10 songs. Oh, yeah. The George Dukas album, Long Way From Home. That's a new one that Pete Anderson produced, and it's a great, great album. Michael Davis says, looking forward to the broadcaster vid. Another one of my builds is a broadcaster tribute with the 50B Ron Ellis Bridge. That's a great pickup. Scott Sinatra says, just bought a Danocaster Blonde Tea arriving tomorrow. Nice. I love my Danocaster. Let's see. Why do acoustic guitars use flat radiuses and tiny frets, but electric guitars are the opposite? Well, most acoustic guitars have bigger frets than like a vintage Fender, like a vintage Tele. And yeah, I guess they've always had a flatter radius. I don't know. That's an excellent question. I don't know why Leo decided to use the 7 1/4, and he must have copied it from something because Leo was notorious for stealing good ideas, and he stole a lot of ideas from an Epiphone Emperor that Junior Bernard, who played with the Texas Playboys. There were a lot of things about the Tele that were based on that, so it could be that it had a 7 1/4 radius fretboard. So I'm not sure. That'd be a good thing to find out. Oh, let's see. Tone Bros. Curious if you're using your brown box with your modern. Yes. Right now, I have my brown box plugged in. And in fact, I'm going to do an illegal maneuver and I'm going to, cheat this and let you see that, I've got my brown box and, I set it to 117 or whatever. And then, of course, you can see my pedal graveyard and the pedal board I'm using. And then we're going to head back, hopefully, to some kind of equilibrium. This is what you get on the low tech, show. That let's see, we at least have it mostly back in place. I have not tried the Sewer Ombre, but yeah, I always use, pretty much always use the Headstrong amp, and I always use the brown box with it because I like it. I like it at 117 because that's what blackface amps really want to see. So. Still getting comments. Okay, if you're having trouble with the audio, you need to reset, Safari or something. So I don't know what's going on, but apparently some people don't have a problem with the audio, and then other people do. And so I don't know if that's people using laptops versus their phone, or who knows what. Let's see. Just have a bunch of comments going by. I have not tried the Sur Ombre. B says, hey, Zach. Hello, chat. A little bit of overdrive says, my father-in-law, who never mentioned playing guitar, just asked me the value of a guitar he wants to sell. It's a 93 Hammer T51 Telly. Yeah, those were cool little Telly copies. I mean, they're probably worth $800 to $1,000 maybe, but I would look on Reverb and look at completed items, you know. I have not played a Novo guitar. JD Simo has a couple of them and really likes them a lot, and he wants me to go to the factory with him and check out some stuff, which I would like to do that. Do you have any experience with Jupiter Alnico speakers? Yeah, I think they're really great. I mean, they're made by WGS, of course, to Jupiter specs, and I've been very impressed with Jupiter speakers. And the Alnico ones specifically sound great. Let's see. Corey says, we've got comments about acoustic guitars and radiuses. How is the brown box? It's good for controlling the voltage going into your amp, and it helps me get a more consistent sound, because tube amps sound different depending on how much voltage you put in them, because it's hitting the tubes with a different level of voltage. Oh, let's see. We've got some comments about putting get 1,000 grit sandpaper and steel wool tape over the pickups. Ah, yeah. What do you think of the P2P amps, Uncle? I don't know anything about those, Samuel. So, I mean, if Tom's associated with it, I would assume that it's good, because Tom's very specific about what he likes. He has very high standards, so I would think it would be good. Let's see. Dave Campbell says he has a deluxe reverb reissue that he can't get it to sound, can't get the reverb to sound like my vintage amps. And I don't know what to tell you. I've never been able to get a reissue to sound like an old one. Yeah, the old tanks do sound different, and you know, to me, it's just, you just kind of make the best of the situation, and you live with it. So I wish I had better advice. I love the Headstrong amps, so I know they're a bit more expensive than a deluxe reissue. Oh, Jam Up says, what pickups are in the Telecaster you are playing now? I've been playing with the pickups quite a bit. I've been going back and forth between, I've had Ron Ellis 52T and the Standard Plus in the neck. Right now it has an old Peter Florence TE50 in the bridge, and this is a Jim Rolfe neck pickup that he made. So yeah, that's in here right now. So, and this, you know, pretty good sounding set. Let's see. More comments about the audio. Audio good here. Sounds off mic a little bit, but fine. I mean, the one thing I could do, I could get the lapel mic, throw it on, and you know, we see what difference there is. Let's see. When you playing in Las Vegas again? I don't have any plans to be in Vegas this year, but I hope to get to go. We got cheers from Branson, Missouri. Let's see, what would happen if they made acoustics with more of a curved radius? Golly, I don't know. That would be interesting. Jason Hobb says, is your Headstrong amp biased at 117? I think it is. I know it sounds right to me at 117. So, any of your Tellys have saddles with grooves for the strings? Yes. I've got, so Glazer, Music City Bridge makes these Groove Master saddles, and I have those on one of my Tellys. This one does not have grooves. Then I've got the steel saddles on my Danocaster, and they've got grooves on them. Yeah, I like the saddles, with grooves on them that are still, intonated well. So, yeah. Non-player here, Zach, just a music nut. Any idea how much of your audience is the same? I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, that's one of the interesting things about YouTube is you have so little information. You just kind of have like, um, like gender and age, group, and that's kind of what they give you. And my audience tends to be, older than 20, and tends to be, more male. So that's all I really know about the people that watch the show. So, ever try a pine body Telecaster? I have not. So, a little bit of overdrive. Just got a set of Fralin Blues Specials for his MJT Warmoth. Those are great pickups. Your phone mic port probably needs to be cleaned out. They get dirt and pocket lint in them. But I'm not. Well, that could be. That could be. I don't want to mess with the phone right now during the live stream, but I'll certainly check it out and clean it out if need be. Have you ever tried quilter amps? I have never tried a quilter amp, so I've just never run into one. So let's see. And Patrick indicates, yeah, you're right in my age range. You're just a little bit older than I am. So, what's your verdict on the Glazer Groove saddles? I have a set but have not yet installed them. I love them. I have them on my old Glazer Telly, which I guess I should grab it real quick. So I'm going to set this down, and I'm going to grab the Glazer Telly. So don't be afraid. I'll be right back. And we're back. What am I doing wrong? There we go. Okay. So this has, well, obviously not on the high E and B string because that's got the bender on there. But yeah, so this has the Groove Master saddles on there. And I've been very happy with them. They intonate well, and they look really nice. And if you look closely, you can see the grooves, and it's kind of on the back side of the saddle, which is where they need to be. And yeah, it's nice to be able to space them out how you want to. Let's see. Jason says, what are your preference, steel or brass? I like both. So I have plenty of guitars that have steel. I probably tend to use steel more than brass, but it all depends on the guitar. And so if it needs brightening, I'll change out the saddles before I change the pickup. And so if I want, a little more, in your face quality, I'll use steel. And if I want to tame the guitar, I'll tend to use, or if I'm going for more of the 50s, or Blackguard kind of thing. So this is a flat pole pickup, and I just decided to go with brass on this. So, and it just ended up sounding good, so I'm not going to mess with it. Oh. Oh no, Zach has disappeared and I like object permanence. Nice. Are we bashing bursts already? No, we're not bashing bursts today. It's not going to happen. If you had to choose between Princeton Reverb or Deluxe Reverb, which one? I would take the Deluxe. And yeah, I love a black panel Deluxe Reverb. I own one. And if I was only going to have one, I would take the Deluxe because it's just got more body and a little more oomph to it. My problem with the Princeton is I want to put a 12-inch speaker in it, which means changing out the baffle, because we don't want to modify the old one. So, let's see. We've got good morning, Zach, Tom from Bellevue. Let's see. I see a video where one guy answered that you need to learn about what you like before you're going to a more expensive thing. What do you think about? I would, golly, well, I think the sweet spot for spending money on guitars, I think you can get so much guitar out of a road-worn telly, whether it's the Brad Paisley or kind of the more Blackguard thing, and then maybe you put some better pickups in there if you don't like them in there. And then it feels like you really have to jump up to, like $4,000 or something like that to get a really good guitar. I don't really like carrying around $10,000 guitars because then I kind of get scared and I don't want to leave them on the stage unless there's security. So I don't know if that answered your question. I have some expensive guitars, but they tend to stay here unless it's something that's going to be with me the whole time, and I don't want to leave it in the car. What do you think is the best Nashville telly? The Glazer, the Music City Bridge wiring, which is what's in here. Of course, I've added a switch for the tapped, because this is a tapped pickup, but this has pull up so that you can get these two pickups together. This is a blend for this. You got a 5-way switch. This is the best Music City Bridge is the one you need to get. Burst, I'm not burst. We're talking about 59 Les Pauls. That's what we're talking about. Best live concert you've seen? Probably Emmylou with the Hot Band with Albert Lee and Vince Gill playing guitar in the mid-90s. And then probably one of the best recent concerts I saw Dawes, which is a really great band, and he was playing a Blackguard, and it was just a great night, and they were playing at the Ryman. Yeah. Tremolo pedal recommendations. I like the Boss TR2, and I like the old Demeter Tremulator. I think the tremolo in the Flint is really nice, but I don't like the reverbs in it at all. So, what's on the board? The board has an old Peterson tuner. It has an old tremulator. It has a sparkle drive. It has an RC booster, and it has a UA Delverb that I'm just using the Memory Man, setting on with a quick slapback. But yeah, really. So here's the sparkle drive. So I'm just adding a touch of dirt there. That's the RC booster that I have it as a neck pickup fixer. So. Let's see, Patrick Stones in '89, Hooker, yeah, Clapton and Hooker guests for tops. All right, I bet if you contacted Quilter, they might send you an amp to demo. All right, Jam Up says he likes steel saddles. Last concerts I saw Julian Lodge. It was amazing. I bet it was. I have not seen Julian play yet, and I hope to. I leave my Blackguard at home. I use a Telly thin line. Nice. The Feckless Cowboy. I like that. Thank you for the Vince Gill interview. You're welcome. That was a real treat for me because I'm a big uh, Vince Gill fanboy, and I was just doing my best not to, you know, be an idiot around him. Which I was only a little bit of an idiot around him, you know. So because he's so nice. Yeah, still had the RC pushed on. Okay, let's see. Do you think it's worth switching from modern six saddle bridge to the vintage three saddle one? If you want to lose bass, I mean, and if you want kind of old school sound, the heavy bridge has more low end to it. So it's like it's there's a sacrifice. I mean, this old style bridge is twangier, doinkier, all that kind of stuff. I love to yeah, it all depends on what you want. Let's see. Randy has a road worn Paisley. What's your thoughts? Would love to put that same pickup. Yeah, you can get that the Secret Agent pickup from Seymour Duncan, and you can put that in your other guitars. Hope to bring my Swamp Ash Telly to Joe this spring for a BG bender. Well, that's cool. I think you'll love it. I love benders. I have guitars with them and guitars without them, and I love them. Got a CS3 compressor. Huh. Well, I think the Jazzmaster is a very kind of dynamic instrument and kind of stringy and everything. And I think when you start squashing it, you kind of lose some of the magic of it. Maybe that's all I can think of. Experience with a Bruno Underground 30. Yes, I've played through one once or twice. It was a good AC30 type sound. Pine Telecaster made from an old waterbed. Wow. And pickups from OC Duff. OC Duff's a great winder also. Jose says the Tim Lurch interview was great. I learned a lot and didn't even notice the sound problem mentioned. Yeah, I've had some sound problems that have been plaguing me recently, but I'm good. Let's see. What did you think of Jim Little's last video with the car guitar? I thought it was amazing. Jim's a fantastic guitar player and producer and videographer and everything, and I hope everyone checked that out. You ought to check Jim Lill car video. If you Google that or do it in the search on YouTube, you'll get that, and it's very much worth watching. Two tellies, one is average weight, the other one is heavier. Any idea of what the wood is on the heavier telly? Well, could be ash or alder, could be all sorts of things. But I would tend to say if you have a heavy telly, it tends to be ash. So because ash can be really heavy, but alder can be heavy now too. So it's really hard to get lightweight ash or alder anymore. It's just kind of dried up, as it were. Any new books lately? Let's see. What have I? Trying to think if I have any. I don't think I have any new guitar related books. My buddy Austin gave me some fiction to read, and then I don't think I've gotten any music related books in the last couple of months. So just been trying to keep up with children and my family and other projects, work and such. Old Crow says, damn late but tuned in. Hello from Eagle Pass, Texas. Man, I remember driving through there. I remember driving to Laredo and all sorts of places, and El Paso, and going through Eagle Pass. I miss the old Vince Gill rig with the two Rivera amps and the Big Boss pedal board. Killer tone. It was good, and I liked the era right before that where he had two Fender Twins with JBLs and a couple of Boss pedal sitting on top of the amp. That was a good era too. The book that Austin gave me is Batman Returns. So I think it takes place right after the late '80s Batman movie. And so yeah, I'm kind of interested. I haven't really read many superhero, type fiction and stuff, but he gave that to me, and yeah, I'm looking forward to reading it. Thoughts on newer guitarists like Zach Top, Billy Strings? Billy Strings is fantastic, certainly fast and melodic. Zach Top is great. I saw him on the Opry a couple months ago, and of course, on the record that's Brent Mason playing guitar, but then Zach is playing all of the licks live, and he does a great job of it. So it'll be interesting to hear what like if on the next record Zach starts playing some of his own electric guitar on the record. So, oh, Paul Reed Smith really does not like. Well, I wouldn't be worried about it. Yeah, Jim's a good guy and a smart guy, and Paul Reed Smith's very intense. If you've ever been around him before, which I have been around him a number of times, he's an intense fellow. So, yeah, and he doesn't like anyone that disagrees with him. If you had to build a 3 pedal board, what would you put on it? I would have if we're not including a tuner, then I would have tremolo, drive, and delay. And yeah, I really like this Delverb, because it's kind of got a dual thing. And then I like a Sparkle Drive or a Moss Distortion or a Nobles, any of those. And then, some type of tremolo, and that would make me very happy. Oh, yeah, sad news about Stuart Smith. If you don't know, Stuart Smith, who's been playing with the Eagles for the last 25 years, has some form of Parkinson's disease, and so he's had to retire from playing with the Eagles. And he's one of my favorite guitar players of all time. And I'm, sad that, yeah, I did, and I had the pleasure of interviewing him. It was a Zoom interview done during COVID, but still, it was fun. And if you want to learn more about Stuart, that's a great way. I don't know Chris Holt, but I believe I've seen Chris play with Don Henley doing his solo stuff, and he's obviously a great player. Any experience on reverse Firebirds and their tone? I mean, I like the pick. I don't like Firebirds because of their size. I do like the reverse ones better. And I like the pickups. I love Firebird pickups, because they're bright. What online courses do you like? I think the one that I learned the most from, a number of years ago was from the Guthrie Trapp's Artist Works. I thought that was well done, and I learned a lot from that. That's a good one. Let's see. Midland, Texas loves Billy Strings. Nice. Well, I'm glad Feckless Cowboy is having a good time. Very nice. Rob E says, what do you think about Japanese-made Telecasters? Well, I've owned a lot of them through the years, and I love them. My first good Tele was a mid-'80s Squire Telecaster that was black with a white pickguard and with a top loader, and it was a great little guitar. And then I've had a couple of the 62 reissues. I had one that was a JV, 62 reissue, and I did an episode about it, and then I had to sell it so I could get my 57 Esquire. But yeah, I love Tokai's, breezy sounds. I love the Squires. My favorite Japanese Telecasters are the ones made in the late 70s and early 80s. Those are really good. The JV Fenders and the Tokai breezy sounds from that era are just amazing. But anything made in Japan, any of the Telecasters, even made right now, are really well made, and they're great instruments. So, do you play all your guitars all the time, or go through seasons? Yeah, I go through seasons where I play, like, I'll play this guitar, a lot, and then I'll play my Danocaster for like a week or two, and then I'll play, something else, or, a lot of times it has which one I've been messing with, and like messing with the pickups, or maybe trying different strings on, or messing with string height or whatever. So yeah, I kind of go through seasons where I play. The only thing I don't play is my Les Paul. So, I mean, and then I don't really play. I have a Dan Electro Bass 6 and a Squire Bass 6 that I love them, but it's just I just don't have that many reasons to pick it up. And but I tend to play all my tellies, and they all get played a lot. So and the Strats. What are your views on the telling neck with lacquer over the frets? No, I don't want lacquer on top of the frets. I don't want them beside the frets. I mean, I want it, where the whole fret is clean. So yeah, I don't want finish over the top of the frets or building up on the side of it. So, have you played many Fender custom shops from the last couple of years? Did you like them? Um, the Fender custom shop. It's just like anything else. I mean, they build a lot of instruments, and one person might think some guitar is fantastic, and the next person can't stand it. So, I've played some really great Fender custom shop guitars, and I've played ones that I didn't like, but it wasn't because it was terrible. It just didn't suit me. It just didn't have the neck shape that I liked, or the frets, or the sound. Maybe it was pickups that I don't like. And sometimes when you're talking about a guitar that's that expensive, you're just going to find another guitar, another custom shop guitar or whatever, instead of being like, oh, I'm going to pay $4,000 for a guitar, and then I'm going to go, you know, buy Ron Ellis pickups, or I'm going to go find some vintage pickups or what have you, and start doing a bunch of modifying. What's your opinion on country bass players who use a five string? I don't like low end. I don't like super low end, and I really don't like subs. I think subs make concerts sound bad. I really don't like extreme lows. I think they're terrible, and I really don't like low Bs on basses and with subs. I think together you just get where it's too low and it just becomes a rumble on stage. Like I have a hard time playing when the front of house engineer has the subs turned up a lot, because it just ends up being this low end rumble that's just kind of like it's hard to hear anything. So, oh, if Mike Bloomfield Telecaster was not mutilated, I don't. It didn't ruin the guitar's value. It's still very significant historically, but I think as far as being a player instrument and being really the way Bloomfield played it, it is ruined. I mean, it's like it did. The bridge has changed. The bridge pickup has changed. The body has been mutilated. Yeah, it's not the guitar, that Mike, played. Because to me, the heart of a Telecaster is the bridge pickup, and that's gone, and even the bridge is gone, and then it's had the big cut in it. So to me, it's still a very significant and important guitar, but it's just not, it's like, yeah, it would be cool to see it, but I don't want to play it because it's not really that guitar anymore. Uh, let's see. Take JD up on his offer. Yeah, I do. I want to go to Novo. I will talk to I will call JD Simo today, and I'll say, take me to Novo, and we'll also get some tacos. Mark says his 3 pedal board is a tuner, Noble's ODR, Echoplex delay. That's a great setup, and a tuner, of course. If there was a G3 tour of Telly players, which 3 would you like to see do a tour? I'd want to see Brent Mason, Julian Lage, and Duke Levine. To me, that would be an amazing night, and it would be different enough because you would kind of have, you would have kind of the, because they all have a very different thing, and I think they could all play together, on some type of Western swingish kind of thing or blues kind of thing, and I think that would be a lot of fun. You could also do one where you had J.D. Simo and Brad Paisley and someone else. Yeah, there's a lot of different lineups of a G3 Telly thing that would be a lot of fun. Let's see. I bought a Made in Mexico Telly and there was lacquer everywhere. Wow. That I'd be cleaning it off too. Any chances of you doing something on G.E. Smith? I love G.E. Smith, and he just hasn't been to Nashville in a long time. Apparently my guitar is a lot louder than my voice, so I guess I still don't have it low enough. So I love the video you did about the speakers. I have to try the GA SC64. Yeah, I love the Eminence GA SC. That's what I'm playing through right now. That's what's in my Headstrong amp. And then I have the ET65 WGS speaker. That's what's in my Deluxe Reverb. So those are kind of, and I still like the Vintage 32. So those are kind of my three favorite speakers. So, what's the best aftermarket bridge pickup you've tried? It depends on what price range you're talking about. Um, and what if you want flat pole? I mean, the best top of the line stuff would be either Ron Ellis or old Peter Florence pickups. So that's kind of, and those pickups are gonna, you're gonna pay $500 or $600 for a set of Ron Ellis or an old set of Peter Florence TE50s or TE60s. Um, and the Ron Ellis, I love the 52T and the standard plus neck. Then as far as less expensive, I really like the Fender 64 bridge pickup and neck pickup, and I like the Seymour Duncan La Brea set, and I like the Seymour Duncan Antiquity. I think the 50 and the 55 are both really good sets. So I mean that covers a lot of ground there. And then of course you can change things up with what saddles you put on steel. Or any thoughts on Glazer double benders? Zach Zucker. So I've had the chance to speak with Zach on the phone a couple times. He's a good dude. I've never been into the double bender thing. One bender was enough for me. I never, yeah, it was just too confusing. And I didn't want to have a lanyard because you end up having to have kind of a lanyard that hooks to your belt loop and you push out. So that was just too much for me. But a lot of people love them. And good to see you, Zach. Brad Paisley, Roy Buchanan, Keith Richards. Yes, that would be a fun and very interesting night. Brent Julian Duke, yes. Okay by me, let's hear that thing. Yeah. Favorite Ron Ellis Telly set and why? Again, I like the 52T and the Standard Plus neck. It's just a really versatile set. It's fat sounding. It's a good clear, neck pickup, and yeah, I think it's hard to go wrong with that. Then you could also, and then I also like for other guitars, I've got the 60T, which is his staggered pole pickup, and use probably the Standard Plus neck pickup. Corey says, good luck finding a Peter Florence pickups. They actually come up pretty regularly on Reverb and eBay. The problem is that you have to act quick, and you're probably going to pay $500 or $600. So, but they're cool. How much better are the Antiquities versus regular Duncans? Well, I mean, it depends on what you're going for. The Antiquities have been degoused, which means they've kind of weakened the magnet. They have a little bit of a softer sound, maybe a touch more compression to them. So they just kind of have a different vibe to them. If you want to be a little more, yeah. And some people like the Antiquity pickups that have not been degoused and not aged, and they're called retrospect. So, and that's a cool set also. Josh says, I'm watching the time because I have to go meet my friend at the barbecue joint to get my PV Studio Pro amp because I got rid of my Special 130 a while back. It was too heavy for me, and so it's a mid 80s PV Studio Pro 112, and yeah, it has a 12-inch speaker, and it's a good little amp. It's like a yeah. We're just watching the time. We're good. Do you know if Jack Pearson is playing in Nashville much these days? I don't know. For a long time, Jack was keeping really low and wasn't leaving the house really. But I've heard that he's been, out and playing again. But I have not seen him lately. Greg says, I think Brad, Keith, and John 5 would be the ultimate stretch in music for the Telly. I think that would be a great stretch. See, GDK says, longtime fan, love your work. Well, thank you. Any possibility of discussing Mike Stern, the ultimate atypical Telly player? I think that would be a fun episode. Yeah, I need to do that. I've been kind of, thinking about, I haven't really done a player profile episode in a long time. I used to do a lot of those, but I haven't done one in quite a while. Bobby says, thinking of moving to Nashville for music. I'm wondering if I can supplement in my income here doing refrets. Do you think there would be demand? I charge $250 for non-bound necks. Wow, there'd be a lot of demand, because refrets have gotten, really expensive here, and part of it has to do with, um, and I get it, it's like at Glazer Shop, they use the Pleck machine, which does an amazing job, and it's a big piece of machinery that's expensive and such. So yeah, I think you'd probably find some work being willing to do refrets at 250 for unbound necks. I think you could do it. Let's see. Itchy Brutta says, dude, my class is filing in. Sorry, I got a miss. Get it, Zach. All right, thanks. Have a good class. Uh, yeah, Greg is telling the truth. You would be booked all day at 250 a refret. You'd be wearing your hands out, but you'd have plenty of income. Jose says, what's your favorite food to eat at home? I eat a lot of grilled chicken, and I do like to eat heavy protein food, and I try not to eat sugar, and I try not to drink much alcohol, and I'm 51 years old. I've had some issues with arthritis, and so I just try to take, and the doctor has told me, um, need to really watch sugar because of the risk of the diabetes and such. So I'm trying to take good care of myself. And so yeah, I eat a lot of grilled chicken. So I eat that with some salad and sometimes a few crackers or something with it. But yeah, try not to eat a whole. Try to eat not. I don't avoid carbs, but I just try to eat less carbs and try to eat more fruits and vegetables and more protein. So I learned your intro. Any chance you could break it down for everyone? I believe I got it right. Yeah. So I've done a whole episode on this, but this is based on an exercise that Guthrie Trapp did in either one of his episodes or something in Artist Works or something. But he would do this thing where he did an arpeggio down, and then he would kind of scale back up. And I just kind of messed it around and stuff, and so you have yeah. Little B bender in there too. Yeah, I was again. I've had trouble with my hands off and on. My hands are doing a lot better now. But originally, I needed an exercise that I could do to help with my stretching and my hand strength, and I didn't want to do something that was just doing. I wanted to do something that had some that was fun to play. So. I didn't get to go to Ringo Fest at the Ryman. I wish I could have gone to that. Let's see. Grilled chicken sounds nice. It is. Have you tried the triple butterfly string tree that Glazer sells? I have. I like it a lot. And I use it on some guitars, but on sometimes I just can't get over. Like if it's a vintage style guitar, then sometimes I have a hard time with it. But like on a more modern guitar, it's cool. But it's really good because it deals with. There's a problem if you don't get enough windings down the tuner on the G string, you don't have enough downward pressure, and you end up getting kind of this weird harmonic thing that goes on. And so it fixes that. In the late 50s era, didn't Fender put lacquer on the fretboard after fretting? Uh, I don't think so. I'm not sure. I haven't heard that story before. I mean, I would think they would be maybe. I don't know. That's an excellent question. It's easier to quit alcohol than bread. That is very true. Yeah. Grilled chicken picking. Yeah. The intro's so good. I always love the end with the wiggle and tap. Yep. Awesome intro, Zach. My favorite on YouTube. Thank you. Well, you're welcome. Patrick, yeah. Let's see. You and Guthrie should cut that song and release it. That would be fun. I'd love to. I've thought about JD Simo's been telling me I need to cut it, and that would be a fun one to actually cut with Guthrie because he influenced me on that. Chris Quinn says, "Oh boy, a live stream," and we're kind of getting up on time. We're going to go till about 11. So yeah, but you made it, Chris. Bookmark 62 minutes for the Ask Zach theme quick lesson. Nice. Oh yeah, we've been going over an hour. Yeah. Have you checked out Andy Wood? Great Yeah, I have. I love his playing. I actually talked to him on the phone not that long ago. He asked me a question about my era, working for Brad Paisley, when I was his tech. It was like mud on the tires era. And he had some questions about Dr. Z amps and things like that. And it was like online. And I just gave him my phone number. I said, please just give me a call. It's easier to talk about this. And so we ended up having a nice phone call. And yeah, Andy's a really, really nice guy and a very impressive player. So, let's see. What new gear do you see yourself? Let's see. Greetings from Cheyenne. What new gear do you see yourself getting into this year, or are you 100% on your? I'm pretty 100% on my gear. Yeah, and if I get another Telecaster, I'm gonna have to get rid of something. The only thing I might get rid of, and that I have a '67 maple cap, and if any of y'all are super serious about a '67 maple cap that's autographed on the back of the headstock by Reggie Young. If you want to make me a serious offer on it, I might sell it. It's got original finish and this is it. It was on a bunch. It's been on a lot of episodes. Yeah, the real deal. '67 Telly got the original case and everything. It's got the original pickups and everything. So that's the only thing I've been somewhat thinking about parting ways with. Just because I have so many freaking Telecasters. Let's see. Thank you, Michael Davis. Thank you very much for showing me the love. I very much appreciate it, Michael. Let's see. I'm going to hit back up because we skipped some things. Let's see. Yeah. I need to part ways with a couple of guitars. So, but I think this '67 Telly is probably the only thing I could get rid of right now. But let's see. If my wife and I visit Nashville, what are the appropriate guitar-centric sites to visit? You need to go to the Musicians Hall of Fame. You need to go to the Country Music Hall of Fame. You need to see Guthrie Trapp on Monday night at the Underdog. You need to see JD Simo if he's playing anywhere. You need to see the Time Jumpers. You need to see the French Family Band if they're playing anywhere. See, see them. And that's a good thing to do. Let's see. Corey says, you're a Texan, football in your blood. Let's get your Super Bowl predictions. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be Kansas City again, but I don't want them to win. I really wanted the Bills to be in the Super Bowl, and I wanted the Bills to win it all because I know have a kind of a friend of a friend who's on the Bills. So, why did Danny Gatton bend the screws for his bridge saddles? He bent them to make it intonate better. So he'd bend this screw And what it does, it makes it where the bridge kind of compensates better. And so I've actually done that on a guitar, and it works well. Let's see. Trying to get down here. Ooh, what happened? Let's see. Yeah, Mike Stern, excellent idea. Yeah, there's a lot of great players here. There's a lot of great players that are hungry here that need help. Oh, 56th anniversary of the Beatles rooftop concert. Dang. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if anyone contacts me. It's Zach@askzach.com. If you're really looking for a '67 Telly, we'll make a deal. Do you have different straps for your guitars? I have tons of different straps. So this is a Nacho strap. So I visited Nacho in Spain. I didn't have money for a Nacho guitar, but he was kind enough to give me a Nacho strap. So I like this. This is like a vintage style, 50s strap. That's a lot of fun. And it says nachoguitars.com on here. I also really like, these are hippie straps that Dan Danocaster ages. And this is the Roy Buchanan strap. So there's photos of Roy using this kind of strap. Of course, this is the old Bobby Lee Ace strap, and so these are even made by Ace. It's a reissue strap, but Dan ages them and he signs them. So, and those are a lot of fun. Yeah, and that's kind of, I tend to either use kind of the 50s type strap or the hippie straps. Let's see. Moving down. Who played the solo on Travis Tritt's I Don't Love You Anymore? That is Reggie Young, and it's one of his best solos. I was at the Orange County show, Jimmy Bryant's son. Yes, you got to see a cool guitar. Yeah, you got to see some of Jimmy Bryant's guitars, or one of them. So, thank you, Brian. Thank you so much for putting some money in the old tip jar. I really appreciate that. That's very, very kind. I'm looking for a budget Dumble type amp. Any recommendations? Well, do like, you should do like Robin Ford, and you should just get a rental twin reverb or a super reverb and use a Zen drive with it, because that's what he would do. Like when he didn't have his Dumble with him, he would use a twin reverb or a super reverb and a Zen drive. And even when he did have the Dumble with him, he wouldn't use the overdrive in it. He'd use the Zen drive. So it was just kind of funny, but I don't know, I'm sure Sierra Tone or somebody makes I've never been a big Dumble guy. I mean, I'm sure they're great, but I've just always kind of liked Princeton's and Deluxes and stuff like that. I don't think of course, I'd love to play a Dumble modified a Deluxe reverb, which Val McCallum has one of those. The Bills are cursed. Yeah, they are cursed. Yeah, that's the problem. They went 4 times back in the 90s and lost every year. Corey says, I was wondering if you have ever done video over banjo drop tuners on the Telly. No, I haven't. I have a friend named Chip who's put, banjo tuners on his Telly, like Clarence White. He did the 2 of them. And it's a cool trick, but I've just never been into it. Yeah, Dumble is being resurrected as a brand. And thank you, Jason Hobbs. Thanks for answering all my questions, Zach. Cheers from Alberta, Canada. Really dig your channel. I've been wasting for years. Good luck selling that 67 Telly. All right, well, thanks. Yeah, I need to, the banjo tuner thing. And then, you can just play. Just do a little banjo. My 52 has banjo tuners, Waylon inspired. Nice. All right. Well, we've been on for a while. I really appreciate really appreciate you guys spending your Wednesday morning with me. And yes, watching, not wasting. And I appreciate that, Jason, and all the people that put some money in the tip jar. I'll go and have some barbecue on you all, and I greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you next time around. We'll probably next month about this time we'll do a live stream, and we'll have some more fun hanging out. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.